Hey guys, this is Rebecca here, and today I'm back with a video to show you my cover to my Week in a Life documentation. So it starts tomorrow, and I was pulling out my notebook, which I kind of put together this for documenting a week in a life. So I have all my time frames in there, and of course I've come through and added the dates. And so when I pulled this out to put it in my TN, I'm going to be using my Natural Color Webster Pages Traveler's Notebook. And so I wanted to, or brown, I guess it's not the natural because natural's white, the cream color, but I noticed my cover wasn't created. So I kind of went back and forth over adding a cutout from one of the girls from this little girl from the Hobby Lobby. I thought about adding her on there, and then I also went through the idea of adding a sticker from my recent kit, the Walk by Faith, and I'm still kind of debating on whether doing that. And then I came across this little quote that says, "Keep your heads in the clouds and dream big," and I love that. I know it doesn't particularly go with you know, documenting the everyday, but I love the idea of keeping your heads in the clouds. So I went through and I punched a bunch of little colored clouds from my Martha Stewart punch, and so I ended up kind of coming to a conclusion that maybe I'll draw like a girl and then have some clouds around her. So that's kind of my idea. I don't have anything sketched out, but I just have a thought in my head, and I thought, well, let's just go for it and get the camera on and let's see what we can come up with. Whoa. So I'm using way too much of this. This is, I'm just going to put this kind of the background. This is the malt color acrylic paint from Target, and I really like their paint. I've been using some of the shimmery kind. I really like it, but the only thing with the shimmering is, unless, I don't know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I had put it as a background on one of my canvases, and it didn't look right, and so I ended up covering it with the another blue. So I'm just using a card, which is kind of messing up here with the numbers on the back side, but I'm just putting like a thick layer of the acrylic paint on. Oh, I'm making a mess in the process. I have my punch, I have paper, I can always make more of the clouds. So, and the reason I'm using the card is it does a more layer on there versus using the paintbrush, and it kind of does it real smooth. I've kind of gone back and forth, and I had really originally thought that I could still have my background, but I'm going to kind of go with just putting this as like a base paint here. Okay, and I am feeling like I am making a big gigantic mess. Okay, so I'm going to kind of let that dry a little bit, and then actually I'm going to go in, and while that's drying, hopefully it'll dry pretty quickly here, I'm going to go in and kind of add some coloring to, we'll just move that aside there for just a second. I should have really kind of like cleaned my area up a little bit, but you know, I'm always messy, so it's just part of who I am. But I basically am just using cardstock. I'm going to punch another red one since I got that one red, that one with glue paint all over it. And then I'm just going to use my these watercolor pencils from Jane Davenport, and I'm just going to go over this kind of just to create a different colors in here like that. I think what I'm going to do though is use these clouds as to write the title of what the notebook is about. Not sure if I really like that, but so I'm going to use that as a title, kind of to say a week in a life, 2018 May. I'll put the dates on there. Like I said, I'm just kind of going along with the flow. This is one that leaked on me yesterday. So I'm going to just kind of, I can see it's already getting all over me, but that's okay. There we go. And I'm just adding different colors here. I could easily do this with markers as well, but markers, or even like with another acrylic paint, but just to give it some different coloring in here. Let's see here, we got another pink one. I might just do like the edging, since it's just such a dramatic difference in the pink. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. I don't know if I'll need the raindrops or not, but I'll just set those aside too. I'll throw that away before I get my hand in it. Okay, let's see here. I can tell it's still not dry, but we're going to go in here and start working with it. Okay, so what I'm kind of thought process I'm thinking of is kind of have a girl, and you know I love to do the big gigantic bouffant hairs. So I think that's what I'm going to start out with. Is just come in here. Oops. I got new paintbrushes today too. I'm not a very good caregiver of my paintbrushes, and I try, but somehow they always end up what do you call it, dry and missing or frayed. I don't know, they just seem to like kind of just go a different route than what I want them to be. So right now I'm just, and sometimes on my art pieces I actually use material, another pieces of paper, and I cut out I cut this part out of paper instead of really painting it on there. Need to kind of do her shoulders a little more here. Okay, so, and again, I know you can see through this, and I can always go in and work on filling that in. Once it dries, we can start adding different layers to it. The next thing I'm using is this Flesh Yellow by Master's Touch to kind of do a head and a body that is not really off. It's kind of off a little bit, but you know, we're going to work with it here. Sometimes coming in with no idea of what I'm doing is not always the best, especially when I'm filming, but it's okay. And the drying time is also something that is hard to do once you're on film as well. Let's get like a little wider brush here. And now this is kind of a more orangey color, but this gives you an opportunity to change the flesh however you want. It kind of gives a base coat, a brown undertone, and then you can come in here and make it darker or lighter, whatever your preference is. Or so, kind of got our head shape going on there. Again, the neckline is a little thick for my liking, but I'm going to come back in and work on that. So I think what I'm going to do is give her some blue hair. Maybe. Thinking out loud here. I think this blue. I love this this is a Peacock Teal by Americana, and I love this color. So I'm going to kind of do like a big hair bun on her head. Kind of really going for the whimsical here. And one of the reasons is because she's going to have her head in the clouds. So I'm just going to kind of do, it's kind of like I imagine an ice cream. An ice cream. And so that's kind of an ice cream cone is her little bun. And so, and like again, I know this isn't dry, so it's kind of a challenge for me, because usually I like to say I'll let my art rest. But we're gonna go for it here. And if it doesn't work, I can always come back, let it dry, or I have my heat gun over there too. I just know it's very noisy. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of draw some little whimsies here. The little whimsies are looking a little crazy. Hopefully, like I said, in the end, if you don't like it, you can always come back in and paint over it or cover it up with another color paint. I can see her skin is getting into her hair. You know, what I've been doing is kind of doing these little whoopsies like this. It's kind of been working for me better than the hairs that are going down. And like I said, if I don't like that, I can come back in and cover that up. Whoops, I'm getting really a lot of the white. I don't know if it's pulling it from the background, but okay. So you can kind of tell that I'm either pulling in the white from the background, or we're going to let that dry for just a little bit. So let's talk about a week in a life. I have done several different ways of documenting. I've done a whole full 8.5 by 11 photo album, which I found the other day, and I realized lots of pictures, not a lot of words, not a lot of documentation, because I kind of waited until the end to work on it. Basically what I did was I took a bunch of photos, and I did not, I stuck the photos in there, but then, you know, probably some other project got ahead of me or time lapsed by, and that was in 2011. So, I mean, the kitties were little, the kids were little, so it basically, I don't like that. I really like the story. I like to use the words. So I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use my traveler's notebook. And I probably said that last time when I was documenting. I think I did a little, for some reason I feel like I've talked about this, and I might have, and I just don't remember, and I apologize if I did and I don't remember. But so my whole theory is I like to document as I go along, and then I take pictures, and then I do the smaller pictures. Sometimes I do larger ones too, but I fill this little booklet up here, and then I'm complete. And so that's really what I'm going to try to do this year is either like develop my photos by day, you know, like once one day is over with, I'll just kind of go and finish that day up, go develop the pictures, come back, put the pictures in there, because I am horrible about starting a project and not following through with it. So I don't really want to do that. This is a desert turquoise, and I'm going to come through and just kind of go in with her hair and do a little bit of different turquoisey highlights in there and see what it looks like. So yeah, so that's my theory behind it, what I want to do with this project. And it seems to really help me, because I always have stuff going on, and so I work best if I can get things, if I'm documenting, like even on trips and things like that. It helps if I can do it on the trip, but when I come home, my mind is, unless I can really get it done within a week or two, my mind is always right on to the next thing. It's like, okay. So now I'm at a standstill as far as I'm still letting her face dry. I may have to pause the camera for just a minute and get that heat tool out and get that going, or get it hooked up. At least I see it over there. I think I'm going to put a big scarf on her. I think I'm going to do a yellow. She's going to be very, very colorful. And so, let's see what, and again, like when I'm doing my, other, canvases, I like to cut all this from paper. I love to do that, but I'm just going with it here. And usually I'll kind of make it like a little boxy around her neck and then come out. And I think what's fun about doing different art pieces and doing journal covers with paint or cutting things, you get to kind of design their outfit. You get to like pick out what colors they wear, and it's for your style that you have. You could be more of liking, the black and white, or colors like, more muted colors, but it's really, you get to select what you want. And then I'm just gonna kind of play around with these a little bit just to kind of get an idea of what I want to do here. Thinking of definitely putting like the date. I don't like that one that I did. So maybe, and then putting a week in a life. Something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and start that, since I kind of got them in place where I want them. I use this for everything, for sealing my stuff, for gluing things down. It's a Mod Podge, it's a decoupage, but it doesn't make it sticky. Like, you know how sometimes that the decoupage, the orange container one, sometimes it makes them like a sticky. This doesn't. Like, I can you know how sometimes if you store things, and especially with me, I'll have my canvases sometimes stacked on top of each other, and I don't have to worry about them sticking together. I'm so thankful. I always say that. I'm very thankful, because I don't want it to start happening for some ironic reason. But, and so I just put it on the back side, and then I just cover it with the top. Like that. And it kind of serves as a glue, and it seals it in. And then I think what I'm going to do is, once I have this in place, then I'll take this little quote and put it on about keeping your heads in the clouds. I need a fifth about keeping, your head in the clouds. No, I was saying I need an odd number cloud. I feel like oh my goodness gracious. I got my blue paint on there. That's okay. I'm going to show you how we can fix that if that happens. Let's see here, red. The red should have actually kind of gone. You know what I can do? Let's try this out. We're going to cut the bottom off here. And we're going to see if we can tuck it in before that dries all the way. Get those little clouds up. Ta-da! We just stick it back behind there, add some glue. We're going to decoupage it down like that. Ta-da! There we go. Okay. Also, this cardstock that I'm using is at Echo Park. It's that Carta Bella, so it's real thick. Her face is still not drying as quickly as I would like it to, because I'm going to come in here, and what I might do is use a black instead of a black paint instead of a mark. Usually I'll do like a pen. It may just look like a cloud up there, right? Instead of her hair. And the fun thing about art is that you make it as your own. There. Okay. So I see with the background on the bottom here, moving on to her her shirt again, I'm gonna put like little big polka dotted flower looking things on there where I see the kind of like the back where I could see the flowers punched through. I thought, oh, I just had an image of little polka dots, large polka dots on her shirt. Okay. So, let's look at it. Sometimes I can see through the camera. Should I do some edging along it? I think I might get that baby blue back out that I had out earlier, and just kind of liking this tip right here. This is seems to be working pretty good. I'm just going to kind of like come along the edges here. Not necessarily cover the flowers, but just kind of put an edge around. You know, just to not have raw paper, I guess, so to speak. Sometimes you can add water, but this paint in particular seems to be kind of a little watered down and not so opaque, so I can just kind of do that. That way it looks kind of like she's in the clouds too, the background, even though it has a white, that malted color. This gives it that blue. Blue kind of background here. Okay. There we go. Let me see. Kind of makes her stand out, but then it also gets the blue in the background. Oh, this dry. Going back to this little orange cloud. We got blue on it, right? So we can come in here. You know what? We didn't put a pink cloud. That's what we were missing too. And I can just come in here with some orange paint. This is also one that's not opaque, when I would like an opaque paint. But we're just going to kind of kind of cover it up just like that. Okay. Just got orange paint on her face. Let's go in here. I'm going to get a pencil. And I'm going to go ahead and try to sketch out her face here. Okay. So I'm going to do little eyebrows here. That paint's kind of got a glare on it. Come in with their eyebrows. Little eyes, her little nose, and then I always do heart-shaped mouth because it's just sweet words that come out of her little mouth. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is use black paint. Actually, let's get her lips on. Should she have red lips or pink lips? And we need her blush. Let's see. I think I'm going to do like the shimmery. I don't know if I want to do shimmer. I think I'm going to do kind of a matte. But do this poodle skirt pink, even though I know I have that. Really kind of gives me some issues here. I've got that pink. Let's see. How about bubblegum pink? Here's a baby pink. Let's move that over there for her cheeks. Let's shake it up again. And then that way we can really get her cheeks done. So I guess I feel like I need to, did I touch all the subject on developing the pictures? Basically what I do is I go to Walgreens, I use my app, because I take most of my photos with my phone, and I'll just use that app, the Walgreens app, and it's really convenient. Cheeks are not the same. There we go. Okay. And then let's find a really, really fine tip point for her eyes. Where's my black? Here we go. Okay, this is where I hold my breath, because once I do this, my daughter was checking on me, wondering what am I doing. Okay. Ta-da! There we go. Do her other eye. Now what I was saying is, once I get the black down, you can definitely cover it with more paint if you make a mistake, but it really is, sometimes it takes layers and it's usually challenging, and usually what I'll do is I'll try to, if I feel like it's a mistake, I'll quickly wipe it off with a paper towel. There she is. This paint, this paint dries so quickly. It's amazing. I'm going to put that aside because I'm also going to use this to do some outlining. But let's get her lips on. And I do some, it's a crimson. It says one of my favorite colors. I like to do hair color. This, too. So, oh, that has a thingy on it. Had a longer, what do you call it? A stray little tip on there. I don't want to get the, that can mess up. Had a stray little brush extra brush longer than the rest of them. Got little heart-shaped lips on there. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to do another shade of yellow on her scarf. And then I'm going to do some outlining. And then I'm going to say we're good with the cover. And this will be my little cute little girl for the week of documenting the week in a life. And if you follow me on IG or on Facebook, which I always try to leave a link to either one at the end of this video, in the body of this video, I'll actually try to be posting daily pictures and daily completions of how I documented. Okay, so I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to use this black tip. Typically I usually would do like markers, but I'm going to, since I'm doing all paint, I'm just going to come in here and do an outline in it as well. Let me put this away. This has been one little fun, messy, creative session here. I've got glue and paint all over the place. I think next time, for sure, before I just go, let me turn the camera on and just start filming, clean my space up a little bit. I have a huge desk area, and see how I always feel like I work my way down into the edges of my desk. Let me move some of this back. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to outline her hair. And like I said, this is kind of a quick rough draft here, but she's adorable. She's so cute. She's got a crazy big hairdo. Okay. And then I think I'm gonna outline her little face here. And make it a little bit more defined. I just put my hand down in something and see I smudged it. I felt it. I have to have a steady hand. That's okay, we'll come back in and work on that. I feel like I got something right there too, but that's what's fun about painting. It's very forgiving. If you don't like even if you have a whole canvas, you can come back in and just put some gesso on it and start back over again. Her little body's a little off, but that's okay. You know what I kind of call these as well, because I'll do these in my journal? Called a paint doodle. I did a little paint. I did a little doodling with paint. And I'm looking forward to this week. We do have some appointments, doctor's appointments tomorrow, and trying to think. We have a wedding on Saturday that look at her body. She's a little on the awkwardly side to one side, but it is okay. I think the last thing I'm going to do real quick is fill that little spot in, and then kind of do something with the clouds here, I think. This is that shimmery blue paint I was telling you about. Maybe I'll pick a different paintbrush. See how it's really, I don't know if you can kind of tell, but it's really sparkly. But it's kind of fun. But I think I'm just gonna, and actually I might come in here with and do like an outline on the clouds, maybe of with that black paint as well. But I'm gonna let it dry because I don't want to mess it up with my setting my hand down in there. What do you think? What do you think? Is it cute? Is it worth documenting? Is it keeping your head in the clouds? Kind of cuteness. That little smudge is bothering me here, and that little spot. So let's come in here with this again. Another paintbrush. That's why I use a lot of paintbrushes. And I'm just gonna come in here and cover it up and fix that area there. And I can come over to this side and do the same. Oh, and you know what else I was going to do? Is come in here and write on those clouds. I forgot all about that. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll pop back on in just a few minutes and show you the completed look, and then I'm going to put it in my traveler's notebook. Just for a moment. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I was able to put it together. And so let me show you how I plan on carrying my little journal around this week. So inside here, I had to like make it cute, of course, and I'm totally doing into the fruit thing right now because it's getting warm here in the in Texas, and I just love fruit with faces anyway. But basically into this side pocket here, I put some library cards and some these little cards here just for if I needed to write down and document, or wanted to add color to a page or something like this. I put some numbers in here as well. This was from the cat kit, and then these were some that I got from the Reset Girl, so I just put those just to have some numbering system in case I needed that. And then back here is some decorative papers. And then also these are the little jotted notes. I put some of those in there because sometimes what I like to do with these is actually write the story. Let me see if I can squeeze this in here. Write the story, and then you can just glue it right down in here. So I like doing that as well, and it adds some decorative. Bent it. Add some decorative colors to the pages as well. So I have those. It seems like I had put, and then I put some little journaling cards, and these are little tidbits that I've gotten from kits that I've ordered, and so I just kind of stuck those in here as a way to just have those available. Now one of the things that I've been carrying around in my normal journal, which is this right here, this is what I normally carry around. So I may actually pull this out. This is a TN cover that I got from the Happy Marigold, and so I may pull that out and actually put it in here for now. This is more of my private journal, not necessarily private, it does talk about different things, but that I kind of journal in on a every other day basis or something like that. So but I had these are what I was kind of getting to. These are called the Domestic Bliss, I think, or something. These are by Carp Diem, Simple Stories. And but it's all about Hello Life. It has a house in there, busy, 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 but it's all kind of home based. It's all kind of laundry, domestic. So I thought these would be perfect for keeping on hand. I just dropped my the paper clip. Clothespin, and so I thought this would be kind of neat to keep getting stuff done. This is the day-to-day process stuff that I feel like these die cuts fit perfectly and with this week. And so anyway, that's kind of what I'm going to do. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. This is what came with the actual TN, and I'm going to pull this out of here for now and move it. You can tell these are like my favorite pens right now for journaling. I'm going to move this over here so I can keep it handy and have it with me. Because a lot of times I do take time out to try to get caught up and write that. And these are the cute little, these were actually included, these little cute, I think they could be bookmarks. You can bookmark them, but I just call them decorative little charms that was included in the Faith kit for May this month. So, and actually I may just put in the pink one. They both write black, but the pink kind of matches with the charms. So there we have it. This is what how I'm going to be documenting. And again, follow me on IG, on Instagram, or on Facebook, and I'll be posting pictures along the way. And if you have any questions, please leave them below. And I'm also going to leave Allie Edwards' site to for you to look at if you're not familiar with the Week in a Life process, because she's been doing it forever, and I've been doing it since 2011, on and off, but most time every year. I get better and better every year about what works for me. So again, I will link her email or her blog and website below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.